Up to now, you've used global and solar lighting, which you set in the Light Manager. You may even have used the default lighting from this setting here. However, now we need to place specific lights in a scene, and we need to look at which ones are available. So a couple of ways of doing this. We can go down to the Light Manager here and click and hold and select the Light Manager. Pops into place nicely. And here are the different light types. Now, right now, the spotlight is selected, and one will always be selected. But the point is, if we drop this down and look at the list, you'll see that a spotlight is not in the list. It will be, however, if we switch to a different light in here. You'll see what I mean. So let's go through what we can actually see right now. The first is a point light. And this is light which is radiated in all directions from a single point. Good example is an incandescent light bulb in a table lamp. That would contain point light as its source. Next we have an area light. Now this is light radiated from a block or a polygon element in the design. And a good example is a fluorescent light which emits indirect light over a wide area. In the case of the fluorescent light, you'd use a rectangular block, which would be designated as the light element. We have a directional light, which produces parallel light rays, as essentially does the sun. Now, the light from this one has an equal intensity on any surface, whether those surfaces are in front of or behind the light, which is a little odd, but you'll see how this works. And we have a sky opening. Now, this is not technically a light in itself, but it's an opening through which solar, directional, or skylight can be directed and controlled. This is used in windows, skylights, and doors with glass. It really is an opening in a wall, for example, or a roof through which light is passing. Now let's pick the sky opening and then go back again. And now we see the spotlight. Now a spotlight radiates light in a conical beam. The size of the beam can be specified, as can the direction of the spotlight. So there's our selections, and you can set them here by, say, picking point light, and the place light tool will show that we have a point light. Or you can go down to the light icon and hit the place light. All you get this time is just the place light settings. You don't see the Light Manager itself. So you don't have to have that on the screen necessarily. So in other words, if you know where the light's going to go and exactly what it is, use this method. Now I am going to bring back the Light Manager. So here we have the settings for this particular point light. And we can select a specific bulb type. You select the incandescent 100 watt bulb. So that pops into place up there. And then we can set anything else we need in this box. And again, we'll be talking about those later on. We typically have a default intensity of 100. In other words, 100% of the light output. And our standard incandescent 100 has a lumens value of 1500. This is just a measure of the amount of light. And in fact, 1 lumen equals 1 foot candle of light energy. In other words, a single candle 1 foot away, that's the amount of light that 1 lumen is. The cell size is the size of the light icon on the screen. Not terribly important, but you don't want one too large. There's 1 bulb in this light. Well, it's a single light. It's a point light, so that would make sense. We can set shadows. We can set IES data. They put out specific lighting information about specific fixtures. We are not going to get into that, but you could, in fact, install a very specific fixture with its particular light radiating properties in a scene. We're not going to look at volume effects for quite a while yet. You can change the temperature, which is the color of the light. And as you can see, the more intensity, the whiter the light gets. And you can see what types of lights have different intensities. So a fluorescent is 6500. Incandescent is around 3000, give or take. This is also, to some degree, the color of the light as well. Let's leave that as it is. Now, having made all the setups that we need, we just follow the prompts and define the light position. I'm just going to plot this into space here. It doesn't matter where right now. So just data point in the view, anywhere will do. And we see a light symbol here. but more importantly, we see a point light display in the Light Manager. And that one has the same settings that we saw previously. Now again, we'll start looking at the Light Manager in more detail once we get involved in placing lights in the next video. So that's all we need for now. So move on to the next video and we'll start placing some lights.